Vidette Vanderweide here with ditchyourjobnow.com, and I wanted to share a little analogy that came to mind last night. And to preface this story, I have to give props to a great internet marketer named Jonathan Budd. I have followed Jonathan for a long time. He's a very young 26-year-old multimillionaire based on building businesses online, and I think the world of him. And the one thing that I could never wrap my head around when Jonathan would send out training videos was he would talk about being a warrior in business, and I never made that connection until last night. So Jonathan, I give you props for the warrior analogy, but it came together for me last night, and I wanted to share it with all of you who watch this video. You know, last night we were watching the news, and a former Navy SEAL was being interviewed, and he was talking about the training that Navy SEALs go through, and it's right here in Coronado, California, where they do their training. And as many of you know, the Navy SEALs are some of the most elite soldiers in our military, and their training really includes breaking them down emotionally and physically to where majority of soldiers will quit. They have a process called ringing out, which means when they're done, they are broken down so low they can't keep going. They literally have to go in front of all of their friends in a quad, is how I imagined it, and ring a bell and say, "I'm out, I'm done." And I made the analogy, and the gentleman was talking about how they have to be broken down in order to create the warrior inside. And a warrior, no matter how far he breaks down, will keep going until he succeeds in his mission. And I really made the analogy at that point, not that I'm anything compared to a Navy SEAL, but it's almost like the same process of an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs go through a similar process of being excited and taking that step to become an entrepreneur, and they get into the training phase where they're learning and they're implementing and they're failing, and the whole process breaks you down emotionally and sometimes even physically. You're just so tired because you're trying to implement and then you're trying to learn more. And what we hear all the time in being an entrepreneur, it's really the success isn't about the money. The success is about who we become as we keep going through the mental and physical breakdown. So I wanted to leave you with that thought. Really mull over that. We are becoming warriors of business, warriors of entrepreneurialism. And Jonathan, I finally get it. I get what you're talking about. And I am still in the phase of becoming a warrior. And there are days where you wake up and you'll think, that's it. That is it. And one last thing, the dropout rate of Navy SEALs, when a class starts, the class, is this gentleman who was talking, said his class started out at 250. And by the time they graduated and became official Navy SEALs, only 21 were left. And that percentage of dropout is very similar to entrepreneurs who start out. There are millions of people who start out on this journey, and only a select few, only 3%, make it to a successful place in their business. So with that, keep the mindset that you have to become a warrior of business. Be emotionally broke down and be physically broke down sometimes, but remember, you are there for a reason to become a warrior. So with that, this is Vidette Vanderweide in beautiful Dana Point, California, and I wish you all of the learning that you can possibly take from becoming a warrior of business. See you on the next video.